That's what we've been waiting on. The big Jimmy, for crying out loud, get up in the ring and wrestle, will you?
Wait a minute, come here. Come here, guys. Look, wait a minute. Tell me, do I need glasses? Or come here, Russell. Now, you're supposed to have 20/20 vision. Look at this guy. What happened to this guy's beard? Look at him right there. Oh, come on. That's got to be a joke. They need music. We don't look at that. I can't believe that. That's got to be These are the Nightmares, the greatest team in the history of professional wrestling. What's the matter with this kid, man?
Hey, when you get up there, Jimmy, we're ready to go. New generation will take care of the
JoJo talked the poor guy. Look, he looks stupid with a beard now. Look at that. He looks horrible with his beard shaved off. Looks like the Bride of Frankenstein. Look at this guy.
Okay, Jim, fine. All right, here's the official introductions in there. Total of 431 pounds, wrestling out of Charleston, West Virginia, and coming into Lexington, Kentucky, the new generation. Mark Johnny Wilhoit, Tojo Yamamoto in their corner on the side of the ring at a total weight of 430. From parts unknown, with Jimmy Hart in their corner, I hope, the Nightmare. Expiration of time match, we're ready for it.
I can't sit here, man. Come on, ring the bell.
Now, you're going to have something to do here.
I cannot sit here and watch this kid look this stupid out here. You know, I've got to, this is going to be clean up picture week. I've got to do something. Has anybody got any boot polish or paint or anything?
Johnny Wilhoit in the ring with the Nightmare #1.
What do you excuse me? I know it's going to be hard for you to do without me. I'm going to the back. I want to see if Rick Rude or somebody's got some shoe polish or something. I'm going to put a beard on this guy, maybe some hair on Tojo. This is ridiculous.
Okay, Jimmy. We'll be delighted to let you go for the next year or so. There's a tag on Mark Batten. Mark comes in and takes over with a Nightmare. Boy, you're looking forward. I am, at least, and I think most of your wrestling fans are, with one super match in here. Teams about the same side, both very, very fast. And you're going to be seeing double odd action. The Nightmare #2. Coming out of there is Nightmare #1 back in. Referee asking for a break. Gave him a break, all right. Beautiful backdrop. He fired him out, but you saw the Nightmare get away in a hurry. You know, what are you blaming it on somebody in the audience?
This guy is a joke right there, baby.
Hart still harping on that beard routine. I tell you. Jimmy, you are terrible. Now, just leave us alone and let us enjoy this match.
I'm enjoying this guy is ugly. Bring him over. Let me put this beard on his face with his shoe polish.
Hart's got a bottle of shoe polish. It's fine while somebody else is holding him. Mark Batten staying in the ring. Nightmare #2 tangles up with Batten. Oh, yeah. You got him petrified.
Come on, baby. Bring it over to old Jimbo over here. Let me put a little shoe polish on him. He needs a beard.
In the air. Nice hip toss. Beautiful. Don't you think they could use a little counseling right at the moment, Jimmy?
Hey, baby.
Your Nightmare is not having such a good opener here.
The Nightmares are the greatest team in the history of professional wrestling, Russell. Baby, they know what they're doing at every moment. Look at it, baby. Come on.
New generation with Tojo and ringside.
You know what? Maybe this kid needs a beard, too.
Quiet.
I might put a beard on this kid while I'm at it. I might put some hair on Tojo. What do you think, Russell? Huh?
I want to see you try to do it. Wilhoit over the top.
What's the mask?
Standing side headlock.
Hey, what? Hey! Come on, man! Hey, come here! What's the hood? He pulled the hood, man! Come on, Russell. Come on.
Johnny Wilhoit and the Nightmare #2 in our final action match. Big shoulder down underneath. Yeah. Oh! Look at Wilhoit! What a drop kick! He power slammed him and then drop kicked him, and think he didn't get the attention right there of the Nightmare number 2. That's Will Hoyt over there with his partner, Mark Batten.
Okay, you want me to give him some counseling, baby? So I just gave him some counseling. You understand that? Come on, guys, let's go. Let's get with it now. Come on, baby.
Taken back over
Come on.
there.
I hate punks. I hate old people, and I hate smart
We got a
punks,
couple of minutes left in action right here.
Come on, baby.
Yeah. Knee to the back while the referee was over there watching the action. Nightmare number 2 slipped a knee right into the back of Johnny Will Hoyt.
I'm upset now, baby.
Double team between the Nightmares on Will Hoyt. New generation facing the Nightmares in this tag match. There's a tag. And another slam as he misses the elbow. Batten takes the tag. No, I don't think you want to put a beard on him, Jimmy. Want to stay away from him. As a reversal, forearm to the midsection. Hart nails him from behind while the referee's back. Ojo coming after Hart. Hart. He's in here beating on him with that shoe polish. I tell you. Here comes Tojo. Tojo in there. A new generation going after the night.
Sam, I'm going to get the other one. I'm going to put Harold Tojo's head.
Stick around. They'll put something on you. They may take your beard off one whisker at a time, Hart. Look at that. Mark Batten painted up by Jimmy Hart as the Nightmares held him. And they go running off. We're going to have to get from the referee whether it was a disqualification or not. While we're checking out that, take a look at this, and you'll see how Hart did it. He wouldn't do it by himself. He couldn't do it. But you see the Nightmares holding him down while the referee's getting Tojo back around. Hart with a shoe polish painting away on Mark Batten. And the Nightmares holding him. Johnny Will Hoyt coming back in. And Hart, as soon as anything starts after him, yeah, look at that. Tojo coming after Hart. He runs and gets out of there. As Mark Batten and Johnny Will Hoyt really getting a little revenge back. Tojo and Jimmy Hart. Tojo never got a hold of him. We're going to take time out. We'll be back after we check the clock. Okay, right back into Channel 3's Championship Wrestling. Boy, I just can't get over Tuesday night. What a night of grudge matches and action like you will never see anywhere else. It'll be happening right here. Just listen to the final 2 matches. A lot of personal hatred going down. It'll be Tommy Rich and Eddie Gilbert. You understand that a little better now. Jerry Lawler and Rick Rude. Nothing to prove except who's the better man in each one of the matches. Jerry, going to be some kind of going on Tuesday night in the garden.
Well, it's going to be some kind of going on if Rick Rude can find me. You see, he's claiming to everybody that I've been avoiding him, that I've been running from him. Well, let me tell you something, Rick Rude. Tuesday night, I'm not going to be hard to find. You just leave your dressing room door and take a right turn, brother, and look straight in that ring, and I'm going to be standing there waiting for you. That's right. I piled drive that stinking valet of yours, and apparently and hopefully she's out of wrestling where she belongs. She put herself in a man's position. She should have never been around a wrestling ring, much less in one. And Tuesday night, I'm going to do the same thing to you, jerk. So come on down there, and I hope you're good and mad, because that's the way I want you. Because when it's all over, I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear that you had any problems, any more excuses. All it's going to be is that Rick Rude's going to come out here next week and say that Jerry Lawler truly is the king, because I'm going to leave him laying.
Lawler and Rude, and don't forget, Gilbert and Rich. I never thought I'd see this former partners going at it like this, Tommy.
You know, Lance, I never thought I'd see it happen either. You know, Eddie and myself the past couple of weeks, we run up and down the roads. It got to where he wasn't talking much. You know, and jealousy's the thing that can eat you up. I seen this film, and the whole thing's a pack of lies. And I never thought that I'd want to look you across the ring, Eddie Gilbert, eye to eye, and think I had to wrestle you, because you've been just like my brother, man. But I'm going to tell you something. Right there in Louisville, Kentucky, man, it ain't going to be no party. It ain't going to be us out running around chasing no girls. I'm coming to Louisville for one thing. You said you wanted part of Tommy Rich. You said you was as good a man. You said you could beat me. Well, right there in Louisville, Kentucky, Eddie, you got your chance. But you better be ready because I'm going to be on fire, brother.
Well, a typical day with Jimmy Hart, as you might expect. He's always pulling off some kind of stuff like that. Painted up Mark Batten's face with the shoe polish, and I'm sure he is very pleased and satisfied with himself. Again, a reminder, Rick Rude and King Kong Bundy, no trouble at all with Ken Raper and Jim Jamison, Mr. Ito and the Animal, the same thing with David Johnson and Randy Johnson. Then we had a pretty good match going with the Nightmares and the New Generation, and of course Hart had to interrupt in there and start all of his shenanigans, and that ended that. Dave will be back with us next week, and until we see you at that time, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station.
Welcome! Working a charter, your days belong to somebody else, but your nights are all yours.
Right. Okay, we got the ring empty right at the moment. It's going to be filling up. Well, what is this? Jimmy!
You know, Russell, you know, I am such a busy man. You know, everywhere I go, people say, you know, 2 and a half hours in a day, Jimmy Hart, when you do all your activities. I've got the greatest wrestlers in the world, so what I had to do, baby, I hired me a little assistant. The beekeeper, baby, is going to be with Jimmy Hart everywhere he goes from now on, baby. Cut me some slack. And I want you people to give him the respect that you give to me, okay?
Okay. Jimmy, that's only fair. Anybody's associated with, hear the chant, Hart is a wimp. Jimmy Hart has at least one thing to his credit. He inspired the Wimp Busters. Here's the King, and we're ready for the introduction. Well, we may not have time, Dave.
I think you're right. We're underway here. The Animal goes after Lawler over in the corner. That's the Animal out of parts unknown. Lawler from Memphis. Referee Jerry Calhoun's going to have to try to keep order in there. Jimmy Hart and the Beekeeper, his new full-time assistant down here at ringside in the Animal's corner. Boy, the Animal really beating on Lawler. Over in the corner, kicks him out on the apron.
We've seen the Animal a lot as the partner of Mr. Ito in tag action.
Oh, down to the floor goes Lawler. Animal down there after it.
Russell, what do you think of the King now,
I think you ought to teach him what the ring is for, not the floor.
Ooh, Lawler's head rammed into the turnbuckle.
How can you say that with some of the things that Lawler's done, huh? How can you say that?
He's finally back in the ring now. Lawler climbs under the bottom rope.
Look out, Lawler turns around, but the Animal grabs and starts to choke him. Lawler with a right hand puts him down to the mat.
A fist!
Strap comes down, and Lawler goes after him. Lawler calling with the right hand. Crowd says, yeah, use it. He does. The Animal backed onto the ropes. Flipped across the ring, and Lawler reaching for him with the right hand. Met him in the middle of the ring.
That's illegal! That's illegal!
He's not on the top rope, Jimmy. Say goodnight.
2 and 3.
I've never been more humiliated in my life. From now on, I'm going to have results, or I'm going to get rid of everybody. This is humiliation for me.
Well, if you want to really get humiliated, Jimmy, take a look at it and see it again. As Jerry the King Lawler, after a slow opener, blasted him with that big right hand. Down he goes. Jimmy was hollering he's on the top rope. He wasn't, Dave, as it obviously shows. He's on the second rope, and as Lawler comes off, there it is. That's the final touch, and all it was a matter then of academic 1, 2, 3, and it's all over with. The King with a win, and there goes Hart, the Animal, the Beekeeper. Auspicious debut for the Beekeeper out here as a full-time assistant. All right. I love it. I know it wasn't too happy for you and that opening.
I don't love that too good, Lance. I don't know.
Neither does the animal right now after you zeroed in on him in there.
Well,
I got to tell you, forget all about that match for a second. Let me do this from all the wrestling fans, give you the congratulations on winning the big World Cup elimination tournament. You and Handsome Jimmy be going over to Japan in January.
Well, all I want to do is come out here and say a quick thank you, and especially thank all the wrestling fans, because Jimmy and I couldn't have done it without them, Lance. That's all it is, too.
Boy,
So give yourself a hand. That's right.
tough tournament. And the cream came to the top. You guys really survived it, and it was super.
Well, it was without a doubt a tough tournament, no doubt about that. And before I go any further, I had got a little tape here from Handsome Jimmy. He wanted to thank everybody, too. Could we roll that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, let's take a look at it. Can we get it? Fine.
I said the boogeyman feels good. I said Handsome Jimmy feels good. I want to thank King Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler, my partner in that big tournament. We did it. We did it together with all the brothers and sisters. I want to thank you for the support. And we're not going to let you down. Neither the King or the boogeyman. I'm saying Handsome Jimmy and the King. We going. Whoa, let's see. What's that thing? What's Kingfish? Kingfish. You know, I'm in my office. This is like Jetland, Jack. This is Jet City right here. Me and the King is going, I think it's January the 15th. That's right, January the 15th. Thank you very much, King. January the 15th, we're going to Tokyo. I only wish it was in Russia. We'd show them Russian dogs in red something, Jack. But it's going to be in, whoa, messy, Tokyo. You're coming, baby. And we're not going to let the South down. Me, the boogeyman, Handsome Jimmy, and Jerry the King Lawler, we're going to come back with all the gold, with that big silver cup, with $100,000, and we're gonna drop the bomb on Japan. All right.
I don't know whether Japan's ready for this or not, Jerry.
I don't know either, but all I can say, just like in the tournament, with a partner like Handsome Jimmy, I don't see how we can lose. Do you, Lance?
I'll tell you this, partner. I don't know how the rest of the world's going to look at it. From right here, you guys are going to be the favorite, and we're going to be looking for you to win that son of a gun.
Well, we're going to be over there and do our dead level best and try to bring all that money and that big World Cup right back here to this area.
Congratulations again, Jerry. The King and Handsome Jimmy will be going over to Japan in January, and we'll keep you posted. We got more action. That's just the beginning, folks. Stay right where you are. We're going to be back with more of it in a second. Right back into Channel 3's Championship Wrestling. Boy, we got a bunch of it today. You got to stay tuned and see some of the action that's coming up. You just can't believe it until you see it. Hey, coming up Tuesday night, the same thing. 8 big matches right there in the Louisville Gardens. 4 of them will be Randy Savage, Lanny Poffo against the New Generation. Southern Tag Team title match, the Rock and Roll Express defends against the Nightmares. And then Tommy Wildfire Rich against Eddie Gilbert. And Steve Kern and Jackie Fargo against Bundy and Rude. Well, Tuesday night. You got him right back in there again, Tommy.
Well, Bundy and Rude, you know, they got a little bit to do with this thing, too, so I want to wish Jackie and Kern the best of luck. You know, I got one thing to say to you, Eddie. At first, I felt sorry for you, you know, because I didn't know what was wrong. And a lot of the people was coming up to me saying, Tommy, you know, I think Eddie's a little jealous of you because you're getting the title shot. I said, no, Eddie's my friend. Well, I found out a whole lot different, Eddie. I found out you don't give a dang about me. So I'm going to tell you what. I come to Louisville last week, and you ran. And my claim to fame, brother, it ain't being no track star. Mine's being a man and backing up what I say. You come out and you run your mouth talking about you twice the man as Tommy Wildfire Rich. Tommy Wildfire Rich, the promotion likes him. He's Eddie Marlin's boy. Well, Eddie Gilbert, you've got your shot. Grudge match. And what I'm going to tell you this time is I ain't going to chase you, Eddie. I'm going to wait till you got enough guts to come here in front of them people in Louisville and get in the ring and fight me man to man. Because what I'm saying is you're a yellow, no good, low-life coward, Eddie Gilbert. And if that don't get you in the ring, nothing will. You bring yourself to Louisville, because just like I said, Jackie's going to be there. And then you show him what kind of man you are, too. Because he picked you as one of the fabulous ones. You walked out. You said you didn't want no part of it. Well, now then you're coming to Louisville, and you're coming after Tommy Wildfire Rich in flesh and blood, too, brother. I'm telling you, Eddie, I'm going to straighten you out. I don't know what's wrong with you, but in Louisville, you're mine.
Ooh, Tuesday night. Hate to dwell on a particular subject, but the subject being Eddie Gilbert. We've had a couple of comments to make about the thing, but Eddie is We've been around and known Eddie for quite some time. There was a match that took place between the fabulous Jackie Fargo and Tommy Rich against Rick Rude and Big King Kong Bundy. The match is worthy of showing the entire thing. We're not going to do that because I want to pick up something that involved Eddie Gilbert. Let's take a look at it, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Here's the tag. Rude gives way to Bundy, and Tommy Rich, still the object of their attention. Wing. Big elbow. And he missed that one. He would have made a little spot of Tommy on that one. Wildfire going at him. And Jackie Fargo's got Hart. Hart slams him with a stick trying to get away. Rich down on top of Bundy. Here comes Eddie Gilbert from the back as Rich had Bundy covered. The referee was out on the floor. And the referee counts 1, 2, 3. And that is going to be it. 4 minutes, 56 seconds. While the referee was out of the ring, a little interference by Eddie Gilbert. Rich knows about that. He'll be after Gilbert, don't worry. But for this tournament, Rich and Gilbert going at it at ringside. In the ring, Fargo caught by Rude and Bundy. Jackie being worked over by Hart and Rude now as Bundy comes in, slams Rich down. The official bout is over in 4 minutes, 56 seconds. Rude and Bundy hammering on Jackie, and Eddie Gilbert adding one last shot at Tommy. Well, he'd get a little fine out of hitting the referee. And Eddie Gilbert pounding away on Tommy. He's got him bleeding. Got a boot in his hand, what he's got. Jackie Fargo, who was smashed by Rude, Bundy, and Hart. Tommy just bleeding all over. Boy, we need to get somebody in here to get this one stopped. Rude and Bundy left. Yeah, that was, seemed to be a rather uncalled for situation in there that Eddie got involved in. We've asked Eddie to come out here, and we want to discuss it with him. You can't let an incident like that, Eddie, pass without some kind of conversation about it. We've said that it seemed to be uncalled for. I want to get your side of it.
Well, you know, Lance, first of all, I'm glad you gave me a chance to explain this. You know, when Tommy and I decided to split up, we went to Eddie Marlin, and we told him we'd no longer be wrestling as a tag team. Well, when this tag match came up, Eddie said, well, we won't need you, Eddie. He said, we got Jackie Fargo. Well, that kind of hit me hard. I mean, it would anybody, you know, so I was sitting at home last Saturday when I saw that it was going to be Tommy Rich and Jackie Fargo's tag team partners, so, you know, I'm a big wrestling fan, too, so I decided I want to come down to the matches and watch them. Well, as I pulled into the parking lot, as fate would have it, Tommy Rich was getting out of his car about the same time I did, and so, out of the goodness of my heart, I said, Tommy, good luck tonight. Then he turned around to me and he said, Eddie Gilbert, I want to tell you one thing now. If you get close to that ring, I'll make you wish you hadn't. It'd be the biggest mistake of your life. And I looked at him, I said, Tommy, you don't realize something. I could very well beat your brains out. And right there, right there in the parking lot, Tommy seemed like a whole different person. He threw his bag down, and he started, and maybe some of these people there too, around the fence there at the back of the Coliseum, and all of a sudden Tommy looked like he was fixing to come after me, and it was embarrassing in public. Tommy was going to try to come after me. So the gentleman that I am, I just walked on into the Coliseum and left him standing there. Well, during the match, as I was sitting back there watching the match with Tommy and Jackie, I started thinking, well, those people standing back at the back of the Coliseum, they probably thought I was a coward for the way that I didn't time. So I was standing back there, and I said, well, I'm not going to let him, do that to me. So I went in the ring, and I beat him up. I showed these people what I can do and what I'm really made of.
Okay, Eddie, I accept your version of what happened in the parking lot. I gotta say, you've got a kind of peculiar slant on it, because you come jumping in a ring and jump on Rich in there. He's involved in another match.
No, okay, let me say this now. I went in there, and I showed the people what I could do to Tommy. And then I sat back down there. You were there. I sat back down there at the desk, and Tommy Rich jumped out of the ring on me. He started beating me up and threw me in the ring, so what could I do? I showed the people what I'm really made of and what I can do, and I left him laying in the middle of the ring. And that just goes to show that I should be having the title matches.